Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Daniela and today I will be playing Becca's Bookoplathon for my September TBR. If you haven't heard of it before, Becca's Bookoplathon is a readathon that will be starting on the 1st of September and it will continue throughout the month of September. It's run by Becca and the Books and it's based on her monthly TBR game that she plays, where she's basically converted a Monopoly board to help her choose her TBR for the month. So I'm going to be playing that today for the first time and I'm going to show you what books I've ended up with. So two basic rules for this game. We're just going to be rolling two six-sided dice to travel around the board, and if we get a double we have to roll again, which means an extra book on your TBR for the month. So I'm starting off with 4 rolls. If I don't hit any doubles I will only have 4 books this month, and if I hit doubles I'm gonna have more. So let's jump straight in and see what we end up with. This is the first roll. I have my little dragon egg from Game of Thrones Monopoly. We're gonna roll for 4 books and we'll see what happens. And the first thing we've got is a chance. So on the first roll we got a chance card. The chance cards consist of book titles, which I filled in prior to starting the game and shuffled the cards. And so I tried to pick books that I wouldn't necessarily be picking up without getting one of these. So the book that came up on the chance card is The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. This is a book that I just randomly picked up in a charity shop, and I picked it up because it kind of gave me Ocean at the End of the Lane vibes. However, I didn't enjoy Ocean at the End of the Lane, but it kind of has those vibes and I feel like maybe I could enjoy this more. Maybe. I'll quickly read you the synopsis of this one. It says, Emily Benedict came to Mullaby, North Carolina, hoping to solve some of the riddles surrounding her mother's life. Why did she leave her hometown so suddenly? Why did she vow never to return? But in a place where unexplained lights skip across the yard at midnight, where the wallpaper in your bedroom changes to suit your mood, and where a neighbour bakes hummingbird cakes in the hope of bringing back a lost love, Emily will find that the answers are not what she expects. On the front it says, discover a place where magic lights up the dark. So this just sounds very whimsical and magical. It's about 260 pages, so a nice short one, and if I don't like it then I can unhaul this and make room on my shelves. Okay, next roll. We have 8. So for roll number 8 we landed on summer, which means I can pick any book which reminds me of summer. So it could be that there's bright colours on the cover, it could be that the book just reminds me of summer, it could be that it has a summer setting in the book. So for this prompt I chose Heartstopper, and the reason I chose Heartstopper is because I actually started reading the webcomic of this in the summer of this year, and I remember sitting outside in the sunshine reading this, feeling very emotional. And so I've decided I wanted to read the whole of the Heartstopper series, so I picked them up from my library. I have all 4 volumes, which I do plan on reading this month because I want to do a reading vlog for these. So I managed to pop this on the TBR with the summer prompt. For our third roll, we got our first double. So we need to add a book, but we'll do those rolls at the end. The prompt that we landed on was letter. So for this prompt I had to use a random letter generator to generate a letter, and then I had to pick a book where the title began with that letter, or if I can't find one that begins with that letter, then I have to pick one where the author's name begins with the letter. So I used the random letter generator that Becca suggested and I got the letter I. So there was a few books I could have chosen. The 2 that came to my mind were Illuminae and Isaac and the Egg, which is a new book that I bought very recently. Andy also suggested I could have chosen iRobot, which would have been cool. And on that note, also probably I Am Legend. But I decided to go with Isaac and the Egg. So this is a limited edition that I picked up from Goldsboro. Again, I don't think this is a very long book. This book is 276 pages long. So again, quite a short one, which is nice, seeing as we landed on a double. For roll number 4, which was our final roll, we landed on another double. So that's a second additional roll. And this time we landed on book that features a death. So I had to pick a book where a death is featured in the book. Now, I need to read the last book in the Throne of Glass series, but I'm not sure if there are deaths. I assume there will be deaths of somebody, but my wishful thinking kicked in and I was like, no, there won't be any deaths in this book. It'll be fine. So I didn't pick that. Instead, I didn't want to be spoilt for any books, so I had to pick a book where I knew someone dies, maybe at the beginning of the book. So I picked The Midnight Library. This is quite a popular book. I think it was very hyped up at one point, but then since then it has like mixed reviews. I am looking forward to reading this. Quick synopsis, it says, Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There she is given the chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived, which raises the ultimate question, with infinite choices, what is the best way to live? We're on to the extra rolls now from the doubles. So here is reroll number 1. And on my 5th roll, I landed on Community Chance. The Community Chance cards are filled with prompts that I have written, and the prompt that I got was a reread, which is perfectly timed because I know that the last book in this series is coming out in October, so I'm going to be rereading Beartown by Frederick Backman. I'll also have to get Us Against You from the library because I need to read both of them again before I read the new one, but I'm so excited to finish this series. I really enjoyed Beartown and Us Against You. They are just so good. I absolutely love his writing. He's one of my favourite authors at the moment. These are fiction books. It focuses on a small town called Beartown. This is a hockey town. Everyone in the town is invested in the local hockey team. They hope that if they can win tournaments, it will bring more funding and more jobs into the town. So these books basically follow like quite a lot of families within this town. About halfway through this book, something happens and it kind of divides the people that live in this town. By the end of this book, I absolutely loved all of the characters. I really enjoyed Us Against You because it continues on with these characters that we've learned about in Beartown. And the final installment, The Winners, is going to close off these stories for these characters. I'm just going to read you the first page of this book because if this does not make you want to read this book, I don't think anything will. It's 5 lines, it's 2 sentences. Late one evening towards the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barreled shotgun, walked into the forest, put the gun to someone else's forehead, and pulled the trigger. This is the story of how we got there. It's really good and I highly recommend it. And for our final roll, we got lowest rated. So I had to go into Goodreads, go to my TBR list, which has a ridiculous amount of books on it, and sort the list by the lowest rated. And so the lowest rated book on my Goodreads TBR is Maestra. This is a thriller. It is part of a 3-book series. I've never seen a series of thrillers before, but this is one. The average rating for this is 2.84, so I'm a little bit concerned. I'll just read you the back of this. There's not much information. It says, a spectacular fraud in a London auction house, a barefoot lover running through the Paris streets, a colossal theft from a billionaire's yacht, a vicious murder under a bridge in Rome. They started it, she'll end it. Who is the Maestra? I think out of all the books that came up, this is the one I'm least excited about. But again, it's fine because if it's not good and I don't enjoy it, it can be on hold and then I have more space on my shelves, which is always needed. So here we have it, guys. This is my nice little stack for September. Apart from this and this, I wouldn't have picked up the other books this month if it was up to me. So TBR games are doing what they're meant to do, making us pick up the books that we wouldn't be picking up otherwise. I'm actually really excited about being able to get to these books, and it's nice to be able to read a book that I've just bought because I literally never do that. Are you taking part in Becca's Bookoplathon this month? If you are, let me know which books came up. I'm really interested to know what you're all reading. And as always, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.